I want to talk about Zach Edey. Zach Edey is really coming into his own. That's where I want to start. He has been really good the last two games for the Memphis Grizzlies. One against Philly, which will now be known as the Embiid shove game, and one against Brooklyn tonight. And we need to be real about this, right? Brooklyn was a team that we're expecting to not be great this year. The Philadelphia 76ers certainly were not playing well before Paul George got there, and that was a game without Paul George. But he is really, really good right now. Zack Edey, per Sean Coleman over on Twitter. Shout out to Sean. Only two rookies in NBA history have produced 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, and 4 blocks while shooting 90% from the field or better in a game. Hakeem Olajuwon and Zach Edey. That's what Zach Edey did tonight. Zach Edey was incredible tonight against Brooklyn. He was unbelievable. But to be honest with you, I was already pulling tape on Edey. And I pulled a bunch of tape from his 76ers game because I wanted to talk about the defensive impact that Zach Edey is making so far for the Memphis Grizzlies. He has been awesome on, like, really good on defense. I saw that Roy Hibbert, who has a YouTube channel that I'd suggest you all go subscribe to, he's going to do a video on Zach Edey, and I am fascinated to watch Roy's video on Zach Edey because a lot of what I see from Edey is very similar to what I saw from Roy Hibbert. Edey is bigger and longer than Hibbert, which is crazy. But man, Edey has been fantastic on defense here over the course of the last couple of games. So let's dive in. Let's just talk about what I'm seeing from Edey on defense, particularly, that I think has made such an impact for the Memphis Grizzlies. So first play here, Kyle Lowry going to drive. Perfect rotation over from Edey. Forces the kick out. Teams are already quite worried about going up and trying to finish against Edey because of how big and how long he is. That's obviously Kyle Lowry, but he is so big and long that it is already diminishing, I feel like, the number of attempts around the basket and easy attempts particularly that teams are getting. Edey helps off of Drummond here. 0.3 seconds left on the shot clock. Drummond takes this last second three. But again, he forces that through that timely help rotation. Here, ball screen defense. What everyone was worried about was Zach Edey. Well, he's guarding Tyrese Maxey there. Does a pretty good job at least staying attached to his hip. Like, Maxey gets the corner. He gets it. But Edey is so long. He is so big. I mean, look at him going up and trying to contest this. Look where he gets to. Like, that is very, very high. Maxey has to try and finish with loft all the way over that. That is hard. That's really good on defense from Edey. Really, really good. Here, again. Perfect positional ball screen defense. Literally the way that you would teach it in a textbook. He's in drop. Look at his feet here. He's solid. He's ready to move. Again, Kyle Lowry, not the most explosive guy at this point of his career. He sees the roller come in here. He drops this foot. Knows he has Santi Aldama here in case Lowry attacks his top foot. Pocket pass comes. And he's strong enough to absorb a big bump there from Andre Drummond. Goes out. Sometimes guys make open threes, sometimes they don't. Here, Edey back in transition. Seriously, it's hard for guys to get a good look when he's there. Oubre has like a real mismatch here on Ja Morant. He should just be able to elevate over the top and finish this, but he is worried about where Edey is, and he throws this ball very hard off of the backboard. Kyle Oubre is not a bad player. He is just very difficult to finish over the top of. Here, Edey. I love the way he's kind of playing just on the back line here. He knows he has the Yabusele matchup. He's over early. Yabusele goes to try and screen Caleb Martin's man. They get the reversal. But again, just look at him cover ground on the closeout. Like, he covers a lot of ground here. He does a really good job. This is not some dude that is big and stiff. Yes, I have some worries about the way it'll look in the playoffs against like the best of the best. I do wonder if there are athletic limitations, but man, on a regular season basis, it's going to be hard to deal with this dude. It's going to be really hard to deal with this dude. So here, pump fake, awesome contest, forces the miss, great weak side rotation, perfect, timely. You can see immediately when he sees it off of the pump fake. He creates just this very easy rotation over to be able to get there. Very good verticality. Perfect. This one, Edey, stays in front of Caleb Martin, right? Off of a little crossover. Look at the way he drops his hips here. Like, this is not normal for a guy who's 7'4". So drops his hips that way, drops his hips that way. Goes up, swats the shot, keeps it in bounds. Memphis gets a fast break, which is critical for Memphis this season because they are trying to play as fast as humanly possible. And they're able to do it with Edey on the court even still. So now let's get into tonight's game. Again, mostly going to focus on defense to start here. Then we'll get into offense because he had like 19 in the second half, I think. So here, again, that is perfect ball screen defense, guys. That is exactly the way it is taught. He makes sure he's available for a drive. Morant is already back recovered. He's back attached to Claxton. Now, again, he's there. He's big. He's making himself as big as possible. Look at him extend these arms out. That's damn near an 8-foot wingspan. Making himself as big as possible. And now he's able to recover back onto Claxton. That's a shot the Grizzlies are comfortable with, guys. Like, they're going to be very comfortable if Nick Claxton's shooting floaters. Again, ball screen here. Does a great job staying in front of Cam Thomas. Forces him baseline along with Ja Morant. Now he's out on the perimeter with Claxton. And ends up ending the possession with a foul. I did want to put this on here just because fouling has been an issue for Zach to this point. We can be honest about that in terms of he needs to stay on the court to be able to be fully valuable. Averaging 3.3 fouls per game, but he's had a couple where he's really picked them up in a bunch. This one bumps Cam Thomas, sends Cam Thomas to the line. This one offensively here. Filters through to the dunker spot, tries to seal off Dorian Finney-Smith. This is just disgusting from Ja Morant. Just absolutely sick. Morant going to take this ball here, cut to the back or cut to the rim here. Santi hits him backdoor. One-handed, offhand, left-hand scoop alley-oop. I mean, like, there's live dribble passing, and then there's that. Man, we are lucky that we get to watch this dude, Ja Morant play basketball again, because Ja Morant had 2 360 layups tonight and did that. He is a highlight machine. And yes, the Brooklyn Nets won this game, and flowers to the Brooklyn Nets. But man, I enjoyed watching the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Here again, perfect in drop. You can't do it better than this. Nick Claxton absolutely tries to drop his shoulder into Zach Edey. Edey cuts off the angle, then drops his hips. Claxton thinks he has the angle. Absolutely not. Good luck trying to finish over 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan. Same possession here. I forget why this one is on here. Oh, it's because he rotates. Yeah. And again, always available on the weak side. Always available to rotate. Cam Thomas beats Santi Aldama. That is a mismatch. But Edey makes himself available. Just goes up, gets the shot, starts a fast break for Ja Morant, ends up getting fouled. Guard to guard screening action leads into big to guard screening action, guard to big screening action, entry pass. Again, I put this one on here because you see his impact. Again, Cam Thomas just got swatted by Zack Edey. He does not want to go back in there. He sees Edey there. He is like, absolutely not. I am not going in there to try and finish again. Edey goes around. They try and get an open three. Miss it. Jalen Wilson this time. Jalen Wilson actually had a little bit of success against Edey. We'll get to that later. But look at this. Just forcing kickouts. And when they don't kick it out, he's going to get it. Forced one kick out there. Forces a second kick out with help there. One thing I do want to call out, I love how Memphis is always helping the helper here. So Edey has gone to help there. Look at Santi Aldama there to help the helper onto Claxton. And then he goes up and gets it. Claxton's going to end up making the shot, but you can't do it better than this if you're Edey. You cannot do it better than this. He has been awesome so far. Let's get to a quick little note from PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of PrizePicks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. This one, he gets beat, but you see the recovery length, right? So Edey steps up to get the ball. Dennis Schroeder's quick. Dennis Schroeder's had a really good year to start the year. Edey goes up and gets it. And then we're going to start getting into the offense because, oh boy. I've been saying for 2 years now that I think Zack Edey can shoot. He's already made a couple of threes this year. One a corner three, this one a trailer three. I'm telling you guys, he can shoot. If you watch him shoot free throws, I remember when I talked to him before his junior year, the year we won his first National Player of the Year award. I told him, I was like, hey, dude, I think you can shoot. You can go back. You can watch the video. It's still up on the YouTube channel. And he's like, yes, I think I can shoot. I agree with you, but it's not the best shot for our team right now. The better shot for Purdue at that point was literally just letting Zach Edey dominate on the interior and get fouled or hit a little hook shot. He can do that. That's going to come. The fact that he's taking like, you know, half of a three per game or whatever he's taking right now, it's a good sign for the Grizzlies. This one, again, you're just going to see him shove Claxton in the back. You know, hey, it's not a foul if you get away from, or if you get away with it, right? He used to get away with this stuff all the time in college, and it drove college basketball fans out of their minds. He is so strong and physical. Man, he is good. Thomas Carnero asks, so Edey shooting is real just because I was doubtful of that storyline and the same was said of Klingon. Klingon can't shoot. I don't think he can shoot. I don't think it's remotely close right now. Edey has way better touch than anything I've seen from Klingon to this point. So here, Edey, again, perfect in ball screens, doing a great job, then goes, gets the rebound, does a really good job here. Chasing that rebound. Morant going around the screen, stays in front of Cam Thomas, gets the contest, keeps this ball inbounds somehow. And now we're into offense again. That is a fantastic, fantastic one-handed catch. Edey's hands sometimes are not incredible, but for the most part, they're good enough. And that is a ridiculous catch. I don't even know how John Morant saw to throw that ball there. And he makes this catch and goes up and dunks it. If he can do that, I mean, he's going to be a serious problem because his catch radius is so big. I mean, he has all this space here. I do see why John Morant threw this ball now. He sees that he has Finney Smith sealed and he sees that it's Cam Thomas helping. But man, that is hard. That is a difficult catch and he makes it easy. This is just an awesome set from Memphis here. I love everything about this. So what are we running? Screen here by Edey. Scottie Pippen going to the corner. Or no, Jalen Wells going to the corner. Scottie Pippen here setting just this little rub screen now onto Claxton for Edey to go up. That is a sick set. That is an absolutely sick set. Jake LaRavia with a nice little cut. I think that Edey is really good at timing his movements in the dunker spot. I love that LaRavia just sees that Cam Johnson starts looking this way and back cuts. Just really smart, good intuitive basketball here. Claxton is helping. And Edey just makes himself as big as possible. Makes it simple. Simple basketball when you're that big and that tall. Defensively here, I will say, like, this was a good closeout from Edey. I think we're going to get into a bad one next time. Unsurprisingly, closeouts can be hit or miss with Edey right now, just because he is so big. So here you're going to get the closeout, blow by from Jalen Wilson. That's a tough closeout. It's tough to be 7'4" and have that high of a center of gravity and have to go forward and then change your direction to go back. It's a big part of why I am a little bit worried in the playoffs. But teams that can really space him out, go 5 out, it's going to be an issue. You notice these two teams that he's played these last 2 games, Nick Claxton, Andre Drummond, bigs that can't really shoot, can't do a lot in terms of being able to space him out. but he's not terrible at them. It's just a 50-50 proposition, I would say. Look, he's guarding Jalen Wilson here. Again, in ball screens, goes to get it. Just absolutely goes up and gets this ball. Keon Johnson is an athlete. He has speed. Look at him bend here. He is exploding toward the rim. And Edey just absolutely denies him. Here, again, I did think the Nets did like a decent job of stretching him out at times, but like Jalen Wilson did not shoot the ball well in this game. So this is a good screen. Slips out of it onto the wing. Notice, we're at 11 minutes into the 10 minutes into the third quarter. I think Edey might have been a little bit tired here. Edey did run out 40-minute games last year at Purdue with no problem. Like he played like crazy for them. But the NBA up and down games, a little bit of a different beast. I think he's probably just like a touch lazy getting out here. Not lazy, he's tired. Like it's hard for big guys to move like this, possession after possession after possession. And this is just an open lane. But again, what I want to point out here is he gets back. I love this finish from Jalen Wilson. I've always been like a sneaky Jalen Wilson fan. If he can shoot, like he's definitely an NBA player. I mean, just uses that kind of like in between step there, then goes up, hits the floater way above Zach Edey. That's just a great finish at the end of the day. I do think Edey opened up the angle for him, but it's a great finish. And again here, Cam Thomas kind of denies the zoom action. Edey, he tries to go into Edey's body to draw the foul. Not a bad strategy. But Edey does not do anything there. Like that's absolutely not a foul. But I love what Thomas does here. You would expect a big like this, a 7'4" big, to kind of anticipate the zoom action and anticipate, oh yeah, Cam's going to just kind of come around here and I just have to be responsible in drop. Cam does a good job kind of countering off of this. And Edey does a better job of contesting and being there. I love that the foul wasn't called. Edey here on offense. I actually forget what this play is. Dribble handoff into a wild Ja Morant drive. Tip out rebound. Oh yeah, just an offensive rebound into a dunk. One thing I do like with Edey is, this is 2 offensive rebounds here. I think he does a really good job of just like kind of carving out space. This one, he doesn't really have to. He just uses his length. In this one, he didn't really have to either because Claxton went over and helped and nobody came over and got a body on him. But I think he does a good job generally of carving out space on the offensive glass. This one, just a simple roll. Jalen Wilson's late on the tag. So what are we looking at here? Ball screen, 2 on the ball, which is basically the way you have to play Ja Morant. You can sometimes play him in drop, but it's hard because if he gets ahead of steam, it's going to be difficult. Jalen Wilson's got to be there. Absolutely has to be there on the roll for Edey. That's like typical patented NBA defense. Edey beats him to the spot. It's too easy. Again, now we're in transition. Ja Morant sprinting out. Again, just love that Edey kind of continues to carve out just little space, stays in there. He's ready, capable. 35 seconds left in the game here. He gets beat to the basket. Look. Sometimes guys are going to beat him to the rim. This is a, kind of growing moment for Edey, right? He was just barely, just slightly off of his line with his footwork, right? Just slightly off. And he opens that lane. Schroeder uses his body and his 7-foot wingspan to be able to get to the rim there, finish, ends up kind of killing the game for the Grizzlies. Even a miracle Jaren Jackson 3 at the end couldn't save it. But what we're seeing from Edey is very real. He's now into double figures per game, right around 6 rebounds. But defensively, to me, is the key. He looks like a different player already defensively, comparatively to what we saw earlier in the season, where fouling was an issue. And again, I have questions on how it'll hold up in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he's going to be a really valuable player and a really, really valuable defender, particularly. I don't think he's like an all defense guy at this stage or anything, but he's much better defensively than what I think a lot of people gave him credit for coming in. And I thought he was a pretty clear top 10 defender in college basketball last season because of his size and length. Purdue really understood how to filter everything toward him at the rim. And on top of it, he got way better, way more mobile. He got into unbelievable shape last year and has become really capable in terms of holding his own out there on defense.